That first cup of coffee in the morning. It's a ritual, isn't it? You stumble to the kitchen, grab that familiar bag of beans from the grocery store, and figure you're getting a decent cup for a good price. But what if that bag is actually filled with stale, bitter disappointment? And worse, things you don't even want to think about. I'm not just talking about bad taste. I'm talking about misleading labels, weird additives, and industrial shortcuts that are cheating you out of a truly great cup of coffee. Today, we're calling out the 5 worst offenders on supermarket shelves. Then, I'll show you the affordable upgrades that will completely transform your morning brew. Stick around, because what's really in your cup might just surprise you. Alright, let's get into it. The coffee aisle is a minefield of flashy bags and empty promises. You grab these brands out of habit, maybe because they're on sale, or maybe it's just what your parents always bought. But you're paying for a comforting name, not quality coffee. We're here to fix that, and we have to start with the biggest name on the shelf. Worst offender, number 1, Folgers Classic Roast. Ah, the red canister. It's been a fixture in American kitchens for generations. But let's be honest, that reputation is built on nostalgia, not quality. Folgers almost exclusively uses pre-ground coffee, which means it starts going stale the second it's packaged. The bigger issue, though, is the beans. Folgers relies heavily on Robusta beans, which are cheaper and easier to grow than their Arabica cousins. But that cost saving comes at the expense of flavor. Robusta beans are known for their harsh, rubbery, and bitter taste. This gives you a cup that's consistently flat and dull, with none of the rich aroma you want in the morning. Beyond taste, there's the health conversation. Some mass-market coffees have drawn attention for containing acrylamide, a potential carcinogen that can form when beans are roasted. While all coffee has it, the industrial-scale roasting processes for these huge batches have raised questions for health-conscious consumers. So, while that red tub feels familiar, you're buying a relic. You deserve better than just drinkable. Worst offender number 2, Nescafé Instant Coffee. Next up, a brand that sells one thing above all else: convenience. Look, instant coffee is never going to beat fresh beans, but for a long time Nescafé was the go-to for a quick, acceptable cup. That is, until they changed the recipe. Around 2017, Nescafé tweaked its formula, and longtime customers revolted. The internet is littered with complaints from once loyal drinkers, with many saying the new flavor tastes like dishwater. Words like foul, awful, and undrinkable show up over and over. People on forums noticed the signature aroma was gone. Replaced by something flat and artificial, Nestlé, the parent company, admitted to changing the recipe for a fuller flavor, but thousands of customers disagree. Even if you're just looking for a quick caffeine hit, the consensus is clear. Today's Nescafé is a shadow of its former self, a perfect example of a brand that tinkered with its product and lost its soul. Worst offender number 3, Seattle's Best Coffee. This is a classic case of clever marketing. The name Seattle's Best makes you think of the amazing, high-quality coffee scene in the Pacific Northwest. The reality? Not so inspiring. Seattle's Best is owned by Starbucks and is positioned as its budget-friendly, lower-quality option, and you can taste the budget cuts. You might expect a similar, if simpler, flavor to Starbucks, but what you often get is something incredibly bitter and lacking any real depth. One review perfectly called it liquefied disappointment. It has a reputation for tasting burnt, even when you brew it perfectly. Think of it this way. Starbucks keeps the prime beans for its own brand and sends the leftovers to its B team. It's a smart business move for them, but a raw deal for you. You're being sold the idea of premium Seattle coffee, but you're getting the rejects. Don't let the name fool you. Worst offender number 4, Kirkland Signature French Roast. Costco gets so many things right. You see a giant bag of coffee for a low price, and it's hard not to toss it in your cart. But you have to be careful. Specifically, you should run, not walk, away from the Kirkland Signature French Roast. The first warning sign is the look of the beans. They are black and incredibly oily. While a little oil is normal on a dark roast, a greasy, excessive sheen is a huge red flag. It often means one of 2 things. The beans are old and have been sitting on the shelf for way too long, or they've been intentionally over-roasted to burn away any imperfections and hide the low quality of the beans themselves. The result is a cup that tastes exactly like you'd think. Overwhelmingly bitter and bland with a harsh, burnt flavor. If you drink your coffee black, this brand is especially unforgiving. The aggressive roasting destroys any interesting flavors, leaving you with a one-dimensional grid brew. Worst offender number 5, Deathwish Coffee. Our last offender is a brand built entirely on a gimmick, being the world's strongest coffee, Deathwish. Definitely delivers an extreme caffeine kick, but it does so by sacrificing taste. To get those high caffeine levels, Deathwish uses a blend of Arabica and Robusta beans. As we learned, Robusta has more caffeine but also more bitterness. The result is a coffee that many find overly harsh, with a flavor that's an afterthought to the caffeine jolt. While some like the boldness, many reviews describe the taste as hollow, mediocre, or just not great. There's a practical issue too. The type of beans used in the dark roast often create a very oily coffee. Oily beans in general can be tough on home grinders, causing them to clog and require more frequent cleaning. Ultimately, you're paying a premium for a marketing concept. If you just want a caffeine IV drip, it works. But if you want a cup of coffee to actually savor, there are much better options. Okay, we've aired the dirty laundry. But before we get to the good stuff, the coffee you should be buying, I want to know. Drop a comment below. Which of these brands have you been drinking? Or is there another one you think belongs on this list? Let's talk. Now for the fun part. I'm not going to leave you in a coffeeless wasteland. The great news is that fantastic, affordable coffee is hiding in plain sight at the very same supermarket. Here are 5 affordable upgrades that will completely change your morning. Upgrade number 1, Peet's Coffee, Major Dickason's blend. If you like a rich, dark roast but were burned, literally, by Kirkland's French Roast, Peet's is your answer. Peet's built its reputation on deep, complex flavors, and their Major Dickason's blend is a cult favorite for a reason. It's a dark roast, but it's done right. Instead of a flat, burnt taste, you get a full-bodied, smooth, and layered cup. Reviewers praise its complexity, with notes of dark chocolate, caramel, and a touch of smoke without being overwhelmingly bitter. It's a huge step up in quality for a very reasonable price. Upgrade number 2, Volcanica Tanzania Peaberry. Next, let's get specific with a truly special bean, Tanzanian peaberry from Volcanica Coffee. These are 100% pure peaberry beans sourced from the slopes of Mount Kilimanjaro. This medium roast delivers a wonderfully acidic and rich body with an intense fragrant aroma. Instead of generic bitterness, you get complex flavor notes of dried fruit, savory chocolate, and a hint of orange. As a bonus, Volcanica is transparent about its quality control, testing for mold and mycotoxins, so you know you're getting a clean, safe, and impurity-free experience. Upgrade number 3, Lavazza Super Crema. For a taste of an authentic Italian cafe, Lavazza's Super Crema is a fantastic choice, especially if you enjoy espresso. This is a full-bodied medium roast that expertly blends Arabica and Robusta beans from 15 different coffee-growing countries. The result is a blend that's specifically designed for a perfect espresso shot, giving you a bold and creamy finish that's strong without being overly bitter. It proves that a powerful coffee can also be incredibly smooth. Upgrade number 4, San Francisco Bay Fogchaser. If you're looking for a reliable daily drinker, check out Fogchaser from San Francisco Bay Coffee. As the name implies, it's the perfect brew to cut through that morning haze. It's a medium dark roast made from 100% Arabica beans, which is a great sign of quality. This isn't a bitter or burnt coffee. It's a well-balanced, full-flavored cup that's become a favorite for its consistency. It's a simple, high-quality choice that delivers on its promise. Upgrade number 5, Blue Bottle Coffee. Finally, if you're ready to see what's possible in a cup of coffee, it's time to explore a third-wave roaster like Blue Bottle. This is a brand built on an obsession with quality and freshness, famously vowing to only sell beans within 48 hours of roasting. Blue Bottle focuses on sustainably sourced, single-origin beans and roasts them in small batches. Unlike the dark, oily beans we told you to avoid, they lean toward lighter roast profiles that highlight the bean's true origin characteristics, things like bright acidity and fruity or floral notes. It's a completely different world from the flat, bitter coffee you get from industrial roasters. This is coffee treated like a craft, and it's an incredible way to taste what a bean is supposed to taste like. The moral of the story isn't to become a coffee snob. It's about getting your money's worth and starting your day with something you actually enjoy. To help you out, here's a simple 10-second coffee safety toolkit for your next shopping trip. First, look for a roasted on date, not just a best by date. Fresher is always better. Second, check for 100% Arabica on the bag. It's a good rule of thumb for better flavor and less of that harsh, rubbery bitterness. And third, trust your senses. If the beans look like black, greasy pellets, or if the coffee just tastes lifeless, it's time to move on. Your taste buds don't lie. If this video helped you rethink your morning coffee, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're all about making smarter choices without giving up the things we love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.